G'day everyone. Barkarati is now brought to you by Disruptor Marine Marketing, using AI to help your marine business grow. And our friends at Radix Nutrition, the most technically comprehensive nutrition products ever to exist. Unlock your potential with Radix. G'day listeners, welcome to Barkarati, the Sailing Podcast. My name is Jordan Spencer. It's that time of the week where we get to hang out with some really cool sailors, but of course have to share the mic with my, one idiot mate and that one.
Oh, you can just start saying mate now.
Yeah, with my mate. With the other one. I feel like we're going through a bad divorce, but he's always got an excuse. But at the moment, let's welcome Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, exalted one.
How are you, bud?
Oh, mate, like you, I'm running around with my head cut off. I'm Mr. Mum at the moment. I'm at netball. I'm at AFL. I'm an AFL coach now, Australian Rules Football under 13s coach. I'm running that. It's just it's non-stop. And as we speak right now, I'm at netball.
Are you at netball again?
No, well, sort of.
Oh my Lord! And it's just wow, you've got it going on. Oh, you're a good dad. Keep working it.
Well, I'm trying. It's not easy. There's a lot going on, but we're working on it.
Well, it's not easy to find Nick Bice. I got a message from him just before. He's in Mallorca.
Well, it's pretty obvious what's going on. There's a lot of people writing in with PTB. Yeah. Part-time bias.
Yeah. You're more than welcome to call him that. Actually, because he's away till July. In fact, I'm probably going to catch up with him at SailGP in the UK at this stage, it looks like. But, yeah, it's part-time bias is definitely the program. To the extent we might have to come up with a super sub, I think.
Well, I'm thinking that. I just had a little bit of an idea while we're sitting here. Why don't we throw it out to the audience?
Oh, yeah, everyone's going to put their hand up to come on the show. I think.
Yeah, but we're allowed to choose.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, all right.
Suggestions, I'm saying.
Yeah, no, happy to hear anything from our audience. Cheers at barkarati.com.
Cheers at Barkarati, super sub.
That's it, super sub. I have a pretty strong idea who would be perfect. But
okay,
yeah.
All right. Well, I'll trust your judgment on that.
But that being said, it'll always be Nick Bice. He's part of the program, but just given what he's doing at the moment, and he's away for so much, we'll see how it plays out. But we just we want to have a great show, and this show is going to be a great one because we've got a really cool guest.
Well, it's in theme. It's in theme for we've had, other than last week with the Navy. Obviously, we're in theme. Young and up and comers, Olympic. Yep,
the dinghy stuff. So our guest this week is ILCA sailor, world youth champion. Went to the Olympics last Olympics. Is current Australian female sailor of the year. So she's definitely showing some fine pedigree as a sailor. And so it is a great joy to welcome to Barkarati, Zoe Thomson. Zoe Thomson, thanks for joining us on Barkarati.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I look forward to it. Should be good fun.
Nice and early in Italy. Is that where you are, Italy?
Yeah, somewhere in north of Italy, just, training and whatnot.
Just hanging out. Yeah, as one does.
It's one does.
Literally.
North of Italy, that's Garda. Surely you're up at Garda.
No, we're like 2 hours further east, I'm pretty sure. Just at the AIS base, which there's not that much to do other than train, so it's probably the best place to be.
Wow.
Keep you out of mission.
Yeah. Well, it's an absolute joy to have you on the show, Zoe. The reason we jumped onto you, there's so many people, but I was watching French Olympic week, and the Australian squad in the ILCA sixes is insane, and the amount of movement. I think you were leading for the first part of the French week, and then it went back and then forward, and everything was. There's so much movement. I'm just trying to work out How much pressure are you feeling in your little life, Like,
Yeah, that's a fair question. I think, in the ILCA 6, there's always a lot of movement, like similar to the ILCA 7, Wernie just makes it look like a breeze. But it's, the points are so close and there's so many people that can win right now in the ILCA 6.
Yeah.
Like, you could put, like, maybe 8 people on the piece of paper, whereas in the past it's kind of been, like, 2 that it goes between. So, yeah, finding myself in positions that, I want to be in, but got to try and hold on to it a bit more. I think in terms of pressure, it's just all relative. We are just doing some sailing races, so I have that in the back of my mind. But I want to win, and I'm looking forward to the next opportunity to try to.
Definitely an important sort of thing to think about, isn't it? The old KISS theory: keep it simple, stupid, and just remember that you've been training all your life for it. It's hard to do, though, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think like when you're in the moment, there's always the noise, and then you're in the yellow bib and things like that. But then I was thinking just this week, obviously 5 days ago, it's like, if I just go and write every race, I probably would have won. So why did I overcomplicate it so much and like try and do like something crafty or be a legend through the middle? It's just like, So yeah, it really is simple.
Well, while we're talking about keeping things in perspective, we do have to emphasise for the overseas listeners just to understand. So you're a West Australian girl. So Western Australia, Perth, Royal Freshwater Bay Yacht Club, which is probably one of the most beautiful yacht clubs in the world. Like it is absolutely paradise. Where Western Australia is paradise, it's remote, it's paradise. You've sort of been blessed in so many ways, just growing up, a place to grow up sailing. Do you ever look back at that and just go, oh, wow, how good is this? Like you get to sail off Freo, or you've got the river, you've got all sorts of choice. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty common question you get asked, like your favourite place to go sailing. And as you say, for me, like I love going home and I appreciate it so much more these days. I mean, obviously my friends are there, but it's more than that. Yeah, like Royal Freshwater Bay is for sure the best club in terms of like what we get access to as junior sailors there, and even teenagers through your 20s, they're just covering it all, and it's such a welcoming community. But we also have Freo, and you can go and just get destroyed by the Freo doctor. I really love sailing at home.
Get destroyed by the doctor.
As some of the Sail GP people figured out, which is fun to watch.
Well, it's probably worth just expanding on that, because there are going to be a lot of listeners that don't know what that is. The Fremantle Doctor, for international listeners, is a breeze that comes in like clockwork, and it's probably one of the most famous sea breezes on the planet, to be honest. And so it's strong, it's heavy, and it can get pretty gnarly.
Yeah, well, and it cools down all of the houses on the waterfront, because Perth is such a hot, dry heat. So back in the day, everyone would look forward to it kicking in to cool off a bit. And for sailors, it's pretty much such clockwork. We learnt a lot back in the day of what creates it, and now it's really transferable everywhere. But nothing quite hits like the Freo Doctor.
It's not quite like San Fran. It gets really, really cold. It's in Perth. It just sort of cools everything down. That's why they call it the Doctor. It's relief. But one thing it does teach is that growing up in Western Australia, a light wind day for you in the normal sailing season in Western Australia, a light wind day is 15 knots. 15 to 18 knots. That's when you're hunting for power for you, isn't it?
Yeah, well, back in the day, it's like you're trying to win the club championships. I used to always try and get it on my Pelican or whatever. And then I would always like the lighter winds. So the only time I would have a chance is if the easterly would hang in like that little bit longer. But even then, the easterly can be super breezy, and then probably halfway through the race, it can just slam in, especially on the river as well. It just comes down the drain pipe and just pumps, and it's pretty scarring. A lot of capsizes early.
One of the other things about Western Australia, even if you're off Fremantle, but on the Swan or even off Fremantle, short, sharp chop. So you guys get really used to working the power. You've got plenty of wind, but you've got to punch through a lot of chop. You're not sailing in flat water at all. So that ability to, not bury your bow when you're jibing or running downwind, that you're quite comfortable with that, West Australians?
Yeah, probably. I definitely enjoy it more now. I'm always looking forward to it. Like similar, like Palmer gets similar, and then a few of the venues on the tour, like you can see the same sort of stuff, and it just feels so much more comfortable. Especially than flat water. It's a little bit more boring, I reckon.
Bit boring. So how did you start sailing? You come from a sailing family?
Nah, just my older brother he was not as hand-eye coordinated at ball sports and stuff, so he just got recommended to head down to sailing club.
You go over to the club. You go over to the sailing club. You're not playing footy.
Yeah, pretty much. He I think he probably more of a like sailing brain than I am, but just being the first of the family, my parents didn't really know like where sailing could take you, and he just did, probably just cruise through a little bit, whereas I came through and sort of stepped in the right classes at the time. And
that's amazing.
Just some of the parts.
That's an amazing story. I mean, I came also not from a sailing family, but to see you reach your level, coming not from a sailing family, it's quite an achievement for you personally. I mean, obviously you had some form of natural talent, and you obviously were shown. But that's a pretty cool story. It's a different route for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of people had their parents as coaches on the beach, whereas I would come in and my dad would just be like,
What is
going on? Like, no idea. So I just kind of just leave it and go home. And then, my brother he got super into all the rigging and stuff. So he'd have my boat dialed, and then I'd just hop on and go out, and it was all good fun at the time.
Was it natural from day one for it?
I think so. More the feel of it, because I think what got me hooked is obviously having an older brother. I wouldn't be as fast as him or anything on land, like strong or whatever. And then my very first race, we had like this foreign hands race where you'd swap like the skipper and crew. And for some reason, him being 5 years older, he decided to stay on as skipper, and I was a crew at the time. Mm-hmm. And I hop on and we do this little race, and I beat him. And it was just like, that feeling was like, oh my gosh, I'm good at this. And then I just kind of kept like, just always having something next to sort of like aim for, and then it just sort of all happened and fell into my lap. And then there's something else to try and qualify for, or all the stepping stones. I didn't really realize that it was an Olympic sport until I watched them all on the TV after some swimming races or something at Olympics, and I was like, oh, I do that. And then maybe I could try and go to the Olympics.
That's an interesting thing, because obviously your parents probably wouldn't have known much about the pathway and what is, Olympic sailing and all that sort of stuff. So that's probably given them a bit of a rude awakening, especially where you are now.
Yeah, for sure. I think initially I would miss out on certain things because I wasn't in the right classes. Like a lot of coaches would come along and be like, oh, she should try and go to the Youth Olympics, for example. And they're like, oh, well, how? And then I would be a little bit too late to it or whatever. So then I think they just lent on the coaching and for people's advice, and then we kind of just, figured it out eventually. And
are they expert sailors now?
No, my mum probably thinks a little bit more than my dad. Yeah, she loves the start boat. So I think she tells people on the start boat that she knows what she's doing, but she's figured out a little bit. They definitely figured out that you need to get off the start line well, because that's the one coaching tip always, is just like, don't be in the third row.
Start better, Zoe. Didn't start good today.
Yeah. So it to me, with that sort of family where they're non-sailors, the brother thing would have helped massively, having an older brother who's going down that pathway. But then I would imagine that the sailing programs at the club and the coaching programs must have been everything for you.
Yeah, definitely. Is at the time I went to an all-girls school, and they didn't have teams racing was really big in Western Australia.
Yeah.
We didn't actually have a team at my school, but I saw the other schools all having that. So then I just went down to the club more often, and they put on more laser sessions. And I was really lucky that Tristan Brown started being the laser coach at Freshie at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he really just basically not quite forced, but sort of, I was interested in the 29er for a little bit. So I was just sort of sailing all the different classes. On like a Saturday I'd do this, Sunday I'd do that, and whatever. And then he got more keen and into his coaching. So he just took it on and put on more sessions through the week, and he'd send out like a list of notes every single session. And he really was so passionate about it that I think it just leveled me up. And then eventually he was like, you have to go to Fremantle and start training out of there. So then I'd be sailing probably a little bit later than some people, but maybe by like 13 or 14, like sailing like 5 days a week. And then it just kept growing. Yeah, I was super lucky that the club was willing to.
Yeah, it would have made all the difference. But then the other thing, I guess, there's a sort of confluence of different events going on in Western Australia. As you're coming through, is suddenly the hotbed of all the top laser sailors, ILCA sailors. Sorry, smack my hand over the wrist. All the top ILCA sailors in Australia. Like there's that it's a total dominance in Western Australia at the moment. And so why is that? Yeah,
well, I mean, I think they already had a really good thing going by the time I managed to get to Fremantle, which would have been 2012, 2013, just off the back of having Perth 2011 there. Arthur Brett moving into the head coach role at the Fremantle Sailing Club.
There it is.
He just created this essentially an academy of just like a standard. And he alongside Belinda, who was running the Wace at the time, it was basically they just created the level, and the training was really, really good, and we were learning techniques and things like that I think was probably just ahead of our age compared to the rest of the country. And then it all just built from there. We kind of always talk about it like if you come in with 2 people, so you'd come in with like sort of a little rival or whatever. If it was 2 or 3, then that was even better. So like, Wernie had his group with like, I think in his youth it was more like Mark Spearman and stuff, and then he got really good really fast, so he sort of leveled up and was versing the older boys sooner. And for me, I had Zach Littlewood and Kaylin Winchcombe at the time, and then like Zach was 3 or 4 years younger than me and just the most annoying kid on earth.
He's doing well now.
Like, and then he's just now we're obviously friends forever, but at the time he was just like being in year 11 at school, annoying. Having to verse this year 8, year 7, just like, it was so frustrating.
So he's still annoying, and that's the key.
Yeah, and I think he annoys like other people in his fleet, so it's just so entertaining for me. Being cool. There. So.
I think I do have to pick on that. So with Belinda and Arthur, that's the golden couple, and I obviously I think Arthur Brett's probably one of he's very well regarded, but I don't think many people realise just how good he is as a coach. And obviously Belinda, Olympic gold medalist, and has gone through that program. So, and she's been involved pretty much since she won her gold medal in bringing teams together. So that West Australian AIS, West Australian Institute of Sport, that and the Arthur Brett program, that would just have been unreal to be part of, and that's very cool.
Yeah, I think even just you're not even being involved in Wace at the time, you were training alongside all these people. Like people would say, "Oh, he just won the Youth Worlds. He won this. He won that," and you just be like, "Oh, this is so cool." And like Arthur, like very occasionally would bring down a piece of Olympic kit of like Slingsby or working with Paul Goodison, and we'd watch clips of those sorts of guys like from a really young age.
Yeah.
And everyone would just sort of like they generated like just so much creativity and curiosity within the group. So we'd kind of have sessions where you'd try something completely different, like try sail your boat, like you have to stand up through tacks, or like just something's totally random. And they were always really they were just such motivated coaches, and it showed through.
It's very cool. It is very cool, and congratulations to them. But then you're one of those people that won the Youth World Championships, aren't you? So, I imagine.
Yeah, eventually.
Eh?
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually, but how was that conversation with mum and dad? Oh, world champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'd gone to 2 4.7 worlds before that, and my second one, I remember some people being like, "Oh, you're going to win this time," and I was like, "Oh, I don't," and I didn't, and then I was like, "Oh, well, that happened." And then by then, my parents let me go to the youth worlds in the radial just by myself, and then I remember I won before the last race and called them up in between the races, and they were at like the yacht club at the time, and it was such a cool feeling just to call home and be like, "Oh, I won," and that. I mean, I will never know like really like how they felt, but I think they were just like, just shocked, like as if it's gotten to this sort of stage. But I think some people that saw me growing up wouldn't have doubted really, but for me, I was just like, just
cool.
Just another step in my path. No worries.
Oh, look,
well, because there were so many people around me at the time that were doing things like that, it was just kind of like, I mean, it was a really cool feeling, but it wasn't crazy.
But from the irony is, like, I don't know if you realise it, but as part of your conversation, you've given us this background where you talk about your parents have no sailing background, right? And then they've got no idea the pathways of sailing, and then here you are ringing them up saying, "I'm a world champion," right? And they're just going, "Wow, this is crazy." And when you rang them, they're just down at the yacht club. You've dragged your parents. You've created a whole life for your parents without realising. You and your brother, you don't know, but now mum's on the start boat, and the yacht club's become their life. It is quite interesting. That's what I've picked up from just this conversation, just how you've actually dragged your parents. So I can tell you they would have been through the roof. They would have been overjoyed. Would have been tears for sure.
Yeah, I think a little bit of shock for sure, because I know my mum's very proud of me, that's for sure. But I think my dad is still confused by this sport. Just all the hours spent in the parking lot, just been like, what is going on? There was like this one session because after talking about Arthur, like we'd have some serious debrief. So even if the sunlight had gone down, you'd debrief for like a really long time. So as a kid, you like text your mum or your dad when you get him in, like, in from sailing, and then they would sort of plan how, like, when they were going to pick me up based off of that. But sometimes the debriefs would be like 2 hours, sometimes it'd be 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
We just never really knew.
2 hours. Wow.
And then he just spent so much time in the car park that one time he was just like completely losing it. Just like, I just want to go home for dinner, which is so fair because he probably spent the whole day at work. And then he came into the back of the debrief, and then my dad's name's Clive, and I'll never forget Arthur. My dad's just like, what do you still have to talk about this sport? Like, you guys talk so much. There's no way you have anything left to talk about. And then Arthur just went to my dad being like, Clive, as soon as you memorize 1 billion different wave patterns, then we have nothing to talk about. And then my dad was like, jeez. Anyway, it was so funny.
I got to say, BP, Arthur and Clive sounds like a 1960s, 1950s post-World War II TV comedy show, like having these two whole
like Derek and Clive.
It's
the comedy duo.
Like when you said my mum's proud of me, but my dad, I thought you were about to say, my dad doesn't have any respect for me at all, sort of thing. I thought you were taking us in a whole different pathway.
No, that'd be pretty deep. I'm sure he's proud too. He just doesn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Sure he is.
Yeah. And so, like you've got into this program, and so this whole pathway where you've gone, you're going for the Olympics, you went to the Olympics obviously, but to decide to do that, like, was that discussed as part of your coaching program, or that was you putting your hand up, or how did that decision to do the whole, did you just get picked in the Australian team, the Australian sailing team, and that's sort of how it happened, or what?
Yeah, well, it really was supernatural progression for me, and if I'm honest, I didn't really fully commit to wanting to go to the Olympics or having a lot of respect for the people who go and medal there until I didn't make it for Tokyo. Because like I sort of had this really cruisy time. Like obviously no one likes to lose, but yeah, I just sort of move on to the next thing and keep trying and that sort of thing. And then I didn't make it, and I was just kind of like sitting there, and then ended up being COVID, obviously. And then at that time, because of COVID, we got to work really closely with Tom Burton and Matt Wern. And before that, when you're on the road, you kind of like, you see everyone in the car park, but when you're that bit younger and kind of Silver Fleet energy, you're not really doing the same thing. But yeah, then we just got to see how they operate. And I just remember being like, holy moly, like these, I just have so much respect for how good they are and how much goes into it. And then that's kind of when it grew from there. So sort of 2020 is when I decided. I know some people sort of say they're 8 years old and have this moment and then they know that they want to go to the games. But yeah, for me, it was just a little bit later.
And that games progress, you talk about 2020, 24. Your biggest rival for that 2020 spot, which was 2021, was a lass by the name of Mara Stransky. Your biggest rival for that 24 spot was a lass by the name of Mara Stransky. Not discounting anybody else in the squad, but you two were the two standouts. Now, I remember the first time I saw Mara sail, I was on a coach boat behind her, and I was just doing a little coaching, and she jumped onto the boat. And I just, as soon as I saw her on a boat, I was just going, holy shit, this girl's good. Like, you just knew straight away. And turns out she grew up on a boat. She's never not lived on a boat. She's never not sailing, sort of thing. And she is really good. So you, Zoe, must be phenomenal because, you know, to be able to fight it out with, like, I think Mara's an amazing sailor. And so for you two to be having this amazing battle, you must be something pretty phenomenal in my mind.
Yeah, it has been pretty cool in terms of having each other, because we sort of came in so green and young and didn't really have someone in the squad that was already of the level or to show us the way. So we've kind of, and we're somewhat the same size. So generally, if, you know, you're different sizes, you have different strengths in breeze and whatnot. But we kind of, have pushed each other, like you sort of open each other's eyes. So if like she achieved something, I'd be like, wow, like that's possible for us. Like that's possible for me because we train together and I know my level and I know what I'm good at. And then, I mean, we've had really hard moments, not going to lie, but really cool moments. And I really think she's taught me, like out of anyone in the world, taught me the most about myself and who I am as a human being, because of like what we've had to walk through together. And it's actually been really cool. But it's hard for sure because we're going for the same spot. And she got me once, I got her once. And as you say, we're going again. So 2028 is just around the corner and it's probably going to be between us and the other girls again. So.
So apologies to the other families of I'm not discounting any of the other sailors at all. It's just, it was the one, that thing is what I noticed most, the two of your battle. So sorry and you're both.
No, I think, everyone in the squad obviously is strong and capable. It's just the way it's panned out in the last two. Obviously Mara getting Tokyo.
And that's really obvious.
I get it.
Looking at the French, that's been really obvious about the Australian ILCA 6 squad, like how close everyone is. It is really quite incredible how it must be intense. But, you seem to be able to get on with each other, so that's a very good thing as well. So,
we're all very different. Like, I think some people are close to... it's just we had the big drive after the French Olympic week here to Italy. Well, it's not even that long, but, some people are like super organized. Others are like the most loose people on earth. So we just made it. We just made it. That's so awesome.
But we're here. The traveling circus.
Yeah, pretty much. There's days that are harder than others, but as we mentioned earlier, we're in a pretty nice place on earth. So it's... all it takes is a nice walk by yourself and you're all good.
I think I was reading something. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I think the Russians were trying to work out if they could send a crew to Mars, as part of their space program, and they put like a space crew in isolation, and after 2 months, they had to get them out because one of them had snatched the glass and was trying to stab one of the others. Like it had just descended into hell inside. So
Yeah.
I think that.
So what are you saying, Jay? That we should send the Australian sailing team to Mars?
It's not just me that annoys everyone. Is what I'm saying. It's other people. But yeah, so that whole living on top of each other thing makes it really, really tough. And so I think that's one thing you've got to deal with. That's just life. You've got to deal with people, and in the workplace, in any workplace, it works like that. So lessons learned, they'll be part of your pro speaking career later on, using that as one of your lessons.
Yeah, we'll see. For sure.
Well, what are you going to do? Like do you ever see yourself retiring from sailing? Or are you sailing going to be your career?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's I used to always be like, oh, there's a deadline, I'll stop by this sort of time because, none of my friends sail. My family isn't, that into it, really. So I always thought, I just go for the first one after school, which was Tokyo, and then I'm still doing it. And some of my friends are like, oh, you're going again? Sort of thing. Wow, okay. Yeah. But it's so addictive. And now there's so many pathways. Like Sail GP is super cool and so professional, and obviously the female America's Cup stuff is coming through. So I'm not going to say no because I really love it. And it's so, insane how much more there is to learn and things like that. But I also would be pretty at peace with sort of, settling down and getting I think I would love to do some sort of job in finance or economics. I'm still studying that very slowly.
So you are studying, so you've got that sort of fallback.
Yeah, I just sort of chip away at it. Some people were a little bit smarter and went more all in early, but I didn't really. I was initially doing physio and then transferred, and But as long as it's done by the time I finish sailing, is what I tell myself, then I'll be good to go.
So you're going to be pretty old when you enter the workforce, 50, 60 years old.
Yeah.
I don't think
my
I'd be
university degree.
Well,
I can't believe I'm a mature age student. That's the part. I remember going straight to uni after school, being like, "Oh, I'm in a group with a mature age student." Ugh. And now it's me. I'm like, geez. Sometimes you get into a class and you're with one of the youth sailors, and they're embarrassed to see you, and it's like, oh. Why does Jasper not want to say hi to me? It's so fair.
You don't speak the same lingo.
No.
You've got to speak all the
they
mean
all chat
lingo.
on Snapchat. You're trying to do a group assignment and then they're wanting to converse on Snapchat, and it's like, what? What are we doing? But yeah, it's fair. But I try to think I'm cool enough that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. No worries.
It doesn't change, I can tell you. I can tell you that it doesn't change. You still try and be cool. The older you get, you try and be cooler. It doesn't work.
Yeah, that'll be me for sure.
I've got a finance degree. I did a whole career in finance.
That's it.
And so if you ever need some tips, just ring me up. But
we'll do.
Why are we still broke?
Well, because I've been hoarding all the money. But what I was going to say though is that back when I went to university, there weren't even mobile phones, and so it's just everyone would just hang out in the quadrangle and play hacky sack, and that's how we did our group plan. So it's quite a different lifestyle. I don't know how you do it.
You would come up with funny names for your friends.
Oh yeah, all that. Yeah. All the
it's amazing how everything's changing.
I
also try and tell myself that with AI and everything,
mm-hmm.
by the time I'm finished sailing, everything will look different anyway. So there's no point stressing about it now. That's what I'm trying to tell myself. All good. I'll be all right.
Well, one of the great things about sailing is that there's plenty of business people associated with sailing, and so someone with finance background, they're going to want to employ you. You're an Olympic sailor. You've proved that you can achieve. Blah blah blah. If I was employing someone, you'd be straight to the top of the pile. So don't stress. So you've got no stresses in life. Don't you worry.
I'll just try and worry about staying on the lifted tack a bit more.
Life coach Jordan. He's here to help.
I appreciate that. That's
lifted tack.
Good.
Yeah, manage the fleet. That's it. So if you've got non-sailing parents, have you not have you not had that thing like in Western Australia? One of the great joys is to get on the trailer sailor or your little yacht and sail down the Swan River, drop your mast, and head out to Roddo or down to Mandurah or something like that. Is that not been part of your life at all, Zoe?
Nah, not really. Just like some of my friends had like ribs and stuff, so I would take the faster option over to Roddo.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much. I still love being on the water, but I would prefer just get there fast, really.
Oh.
But yeah, my dad did do a learn to sail course at one stage because he was, motivated to try and understand. But he didn't finish. He didn't graduate.
So
He got hit on the boom on like week 2, and that was him done. He was
Yeah.
like, I'm out of here. So
when you get hit on the boom in Western Australia, you get seriously hit because when it comes in, there's plenty of wind behind it. So yeah, it's a big one. What does he like doing? What does your dad like doing then?
Yeah, well, I got him a puppy for Christmas because I was like,
what sort of
feel
puppy?
like he needs a golden retriever cross a lab, and he's ended up being this huge beast of a dog. So it's pretty funny. But he likes golf. He loves watching like football, like soccer, because he's Scottish, and I don't know. He likes just coming down to the yacht club and having a beer in the bar. It's a good spot up in Freshwater Bay. You just sort of watch the world go by, and I don't know.
It is a glamour spot. Have you been to Freshie, BP?
No, I have not. I've never actually spent much time in Perth.
So Susan Gant, who is great friend of the show, and Cam, I had dinner with them at Freshie only a couple of months ago. Actually, when Sail GP was on, we said, so what's your favourite thing on the menu at the restaurant there?
I often go for steak sandwich.
Oh yeah,
but there's 2 different restaurants. There's like the inside, like a bit nicer, and then there's the bar menu
Steak
or
singer.
whatever. I'm as often in the bar menu.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
Fair enough.
Nothing like a steak sanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when you were doing all these other classes, are there other things, you mentioned how cool Sail GP is. What when you look outside the ILCA 6, what are the things that appeal to you? What sort of boats appeal? Or windsurfing or foiling or?
Yeah, quite a lot, really. I really want to get around foiling.
Oh, yeah?
Everyone probably says that. I want to get one of those switches. That's what my next step is going to be, because I was tossing up between going all in on winging or getting a switch or something.
Tommy Burton's the man to talk to.
I was only speaking to Lily Ju this morning, actually. She's into the switches now too. So,
cool. I just feel like it's going to get such a cool little fleet, and it's pretty good entry into the foiling stuff, especially for a laser sailor. Like the whole concept that you can sort of just charter a boat and then bring your lines or your sail makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, and they do that. They do that sort of women's program where they build the boats. It's Thailand, isn't it? They're in Thailand or something. But they're
in Thailand.
Right, yep.
They got that camp.
Yeah. And then a lot of people are doing it in Garda as well. And I think, but I also like the teamwork aspect. Being a laser sailor, like we don't. It is tough how it's your name on the result sheet and it really all comes back on you. But I think that teaches you so much. It's like you really have to reflect and be quite honest and open. And then I did the Women's America's Cup with the Australian girls just as a reserve, and I found that really cool because like to work together as a collaborative like group is such a powerful thing. So I would be really interested to do more stuff in groups and stuff. I'm not super keen on like the ocean race or anything like that. Not too hardcore. But some sort of foiling would be pretty cool.
Have you done much? Spinnaker stuff with spinnakers?
Yeah, a little bit. I initially came through sailing a 125, which is
okay.
Yeah.
And then obviously super young, but not heaps. Like there's a lot of little like keelboat regattas, and I did some match racing sort of in my teens, and I sort of still, if I'm home and something's on like a keelboat regatta, then a little bit of that. So and then I did doing a bit of 505. No.
Oh, don't
But
say
I'm just
that.
too small on the 505, so I can't group.
Don't mention the 505.
Oh, is it not? It's not all right around
greatest
here.
sailing boat on the planet. Sorry, just so you know.
Oh,
You've started it.
gonna
You've
say.
started it now. He's not going to stop. This is going to go all the way to the end of the show. He'll talk about his involvement with the 505s and the colours of the boats and the strings and.
No, but genuinely, the 505 class, I think, sort of reinvigorated my love for the sport. I was in a bit of a rut, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and then did the nationals. And it was like the sickest week ever because everyone, I was sailing with my brother, so I was losing it to him. But apart from that, like everyone comes on shore, like the leaders of the day would talk about what they did, how they set their boat up.
Yep.
And I was like, this is so cool.
Yep.
And then it's so competitive and the boats are so good. I love it.
Yep.
So yeah, I actually, anytime I'm home, that's the boat I'll jump on first, which is why I haven't done much switching yet because I'm always keener to do the 505.
Double fist pumps going on at my end of the world.
Oh, no.
In WA, it's a hot fleet. Like everyone's doing it. Like,
stop.
and even the club racing, it's fun. Yeah, I don't mind it.
No, well, Zoe, welcome to the world. And I was going to ask, because obviously I'm trying to get back to real stuff. But with the ILCA, you're not having to go. You don't go into a sail loft and sit with a sailmaker and try and look at, your seam shapes and your luff curves and all that sort of stuff. There's nothing you can do. You just throw the flat piece of cloth on the mast. And you're not doing all that rig sort of setup. But with other boats, that's a whole different skill set that you need to pick up. And like when you mention the 50, it's got everything on there. You've got every adjustment that a boat's got on a 50. So I was just wondering if you'd open that side of your brain up, but you obviously have. You found the love of a 50, so you're good.
That was kind of the point I was going to because we've spoken to obviously, like we just mentioned, Lily Zhu, and she had never done anything outside of a laser, or her upbringing was. I don't know if you've heard that interview with her. If you haven't, you need to listen to it. She had no concept of any other form of sailing, and her story is based on that she would get on a boat and have no idea about anything. So it's good that you've got that happening.
Yeah, her story is just amazing. Yeah, it's the best way to put it. It's what she's come up through is crazy. Yeah, as laser sailors, we try and pretend we know what we're doing with the sail.
Yeah.
Like we try and have conversations when you put a new sail up and like, oh yeah, it's this, it's that. But realistically, we just has to survive 6 days is what we say. It's like, just make it through the regatta.
Well, you're incredibly fit, and what you guys know a lot about is how a boat reacts on waves, and that's a huge thing when you're steering a boat. Because one of the biggest things, when you're sailing with a lot of people, especially owner drivers, is they're very reactive on a wave, not proactive. And the reactive person is just off the pace. You've got to be proactive, and that's one of the biggest gains from being a laser sailor.
Yeah, there are a lot of skills that you do end up getting out of laser sailing. And I watched that recent interview of Slingsby at Double Bay Sailing Club, and that was pretty cool as well. Like this, the way he talked about the skills with reading shifts and that concept that he's talked about a few times with the 1 foot per wave, things like that. You do learn about just those micro gains in sailing, which is pretty much
absolutely
everything.
No, it's full bore. And if you think about slingers and like Ben Ainsley, for example, and there was a couple, both of their gold medals. I'm trying to think of the fleet one. I remember Ainsley. One of the things you see people, the biggest mistake you see often is people, if they're buried, they try and take a flyer to get back to the front, right?
Yep.
Tom and Ben never do. They just take the the small gain. They don't add any more mistakes to their scoreboard. Sailing it's about reducing the number of mistakes effectively. Particularly like say an Etchell.
Yeah.
An Etchell is 100%. there's no gains to be made on actual, only losses, because everything's identical. And a laser's like that, except you can sort of make a little gain when you get on, if you can break the plane before someone else or something like that. But Tom has that in spades, that ability, and Ben Ainsley was always that. And that's the sort of thing that it's that ability just to be patient and work your way through and take no bad results on your scorecard.
Yeah, for sure. That's like one of the most common similarities between all the guys at the top, I think. It's like even like Tom Burton's medal race in Rio. He obviously does the match race, which everyone talks about, but then there's the rest of that race, how he regains contact to everyone else. It's not like he went out and just thumped a corner. He just stayed with the shift, closing the distance to everyone, made a move on the downwind, and then did the same thing again. And it happens all the time. Those you're not just the risk analysis.
What do you feel your strengths are? Because obviously we all have. You just mentioned you like the light and shifting. Is that sort of where you like to be? Because ultimately, the regattas, it's there's definitely strengths and weaknesses. Where do you
definitely. Well, I like when there's a big open downwind. So current venues with the adverse current that makes the downwind short. I don't like those. I like to be able to read the wind. I think it's one of my strengths. I think that helps with Swan River and growing up with really shifty places. And then
you're good at dodging.
I just like when
you're good at dodging the jellyfish as well.
I probably used to do that, or just charge through them. You always got to sail fast in Perth because you've got a shark chasing you from behind. So that's what I used to think about. Just get off. I just need to get this done, get off the water. Don't want to do too much time out here. I just like the competitive racing. I love those days when it's everyone's good, in 10 to 12 knots. Everyone's so similar speeds. And everyone gets to the top mark 40 boats at a time. I love those days. So I love the chaos of it.
How do you go? How do you go in the top marks with the big fleets? Because I tell you what, we as a watcher of a keen watcher of all sailing, I love the laser top marks in when it's all happening. Are you aggressive? Do you get in there and have a bit of a chat?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's been much more of a tendency of the people coming in super late on port.
Oh, no.
There's been a little bit of the come in super late on port and just pretend you're deaf and don't hear anyone. It's just, what are you guys doing?
I know a guy like that. His name is John Bertrand. He's pretty good at coming in with blinkers on.
The thing is, if you do it well and you're good at it and you know the moments to duck versus just to send it through or tell people I'll go across you. There's huge gains in that. Because it's the worst feeling, just chopping wood on starboard, trying to be a good citizen. And then you see people feeling, you're so dependent on other people.
We don't call him the great man for nothing. He comes in.
I've got respect for it.
Fair me too. Head down. Don't listen, just straight in.
But that being said, if you're doing it inside the three boat length zone, you're taking so much more risk onto your scorecard because if you push someone above close haul. That's the theory, but I guess you've got to.
It is the type of thing that catches up with you. It'll come back to at the Worlds or something. People will just have enough and actually protest. Most of the time, people don't do protests at a World Cup, but at the Olympics is for sure.
Well, the Olympics,
everyone's going for it.
Hey, my favourite.
There is an element of common sense. I mean, we know, but where I'm getting at is, as you said, there are gains to be made, and if you do it right. If you have enough faith in your own ability and you're enough gusto, I'll use the non-swear word, enough gusto about yourself, you get in there and you just nail it. You can actually make huge gains.
Oh, definitely. And it's knowing the moments, but I think you got to be a little bit on the edge of the rules every now and then if you want to be at the top.
I think, talking what BP was saying, that top mark thing in the ILCAs, my favourite watching, and you were part of this, I reckon, was that in the Netherlands.
The Hague.
In The Hague. That was just hilarious at the World Sailing Games. It was just the funniest thing.
I loved it.
The ILCAs were just hilarious. Wouldn't have been fun doing it, being the sailors, though.
Yeah, I freaking hate the North Sea. But, like that's like the exact situation I'm talking about, was like the current doing the opposite things. Everyone's just like, and then in ILCAs, as you know, and I'm sure you've talked heaps of shit about ILCAs before, but we go so slow. So you combine that with those top marks, and then the current's faster than you. You're going backwards, and then you see like footage like that where it's just like, oh, these are just, how are these people the best at it? Because it is funny. There's some seriously bad decisions happen at the top marks. That's why I love it, because it's most of the time it's huge gains.
But if I'd been in that boat park, I would have got an anchor the next day and put it on top of my boat. So I'm going to take an anchor out with me.
Yeah, you'd be better off.
Yeah.
You definitely would have been better off.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that was entertaining.
Yeah. But, I mean, one of the great things, these life experiences you're having where you're getting to do the tour. And so for you, the next big one is LA, I guess. Is that right? I know there's other events, but LA is a big one.
Yeah, for sure. And I like to think I've been doing it for quite a long time, and I've learnt quite a lot. So this one is definitely about bringing a medal back for all of our efforts with the ILCA 6 squad. Like love it. As a combination, we've put in so much to this, and so much effort, and certainly a few coaches with grey hairs. So we definitely owe it to ourselves mostly.
Good one.
And I think we're definitely all on the same page with that. So I want to be alongside the ILCA 7. Like, their legacy is so cool, and we definitely want to build our own legacy with the ILCA 6 squad, because we're good enough and definitely capable of it. So
it's pretty cool.
It's a really good point. So you're obviously on the build-up now, and there's a lot going on. There's been a sort of a staple group at the top for so long, with the ILCAs. Are you seeing a little change of the guard, or is it still the same names?
Definitely a change of the guard. We've got some younger girls who are just putting it together really well. There's an Irish girl and a few others, and that's really cool, because one of the coaches have set up this fantasy league with ILCA sailing, and then some people were talking about who they're putting on their fantasy before here, and you can put this power pick and whatever else, and everyone was saying like ILCA 6 is just so open, because it's like there's so many people that could win, which is quite a cool time. But I'm sure as we get closer, it will start sort of narrowing out. I think it's definitely a change to the guard, because people also talk about Anne-Marie coming back, but I think it's going to get harder and harder for those sorts of legends to come back and be at the top, because everyone, it's so full time now that everyone's advancing and getting so much better that it's really competitive. And you leave, and then we all form our habits and might not give them the benefit of the doubt anymore when they come back. I
did see Anne-Marie not too long ago. I think it might have been at New Zealand or something, and I saw her pushing the baby around. So, it's a big,
very cute kid.
Very cute kid. Yep. So, it's all so much fun, isn't it? What have you got the conditions worked out in LA? You want to say the false conditions and throw the other teams off?
It does look like quite sea breeze patterns, and so I felt like the sun glare. I don't know if you guys have sailed in LA before. The way the sun was reflecting on the water gave me very much Fremantle vibes. Yeah. Just like that, like you get off the water and your eyes hurt.
Done a little bit of water sailing on the West Coast, and it reminds me very much of Adelaide, my hometown, in certain times.
Yeah, similar to Freo as well, Adelaide. That's the sun glare and the way it reflects on the water. So I think it could be really good for the Aussies, especially the West Australian contingent.
Hey, now you're a 5-0 girl. You should you should jump on the phone to Howie Hamlin.
I told you he would not let this go.
No. I'm trying to help. You should jump on the phone to Howie Hamlin, and Howie's he's a dead set legend, and he's a Californian, and he's mad for his helicopter flying, and he's a legend in the 5.0s. Ian Murray and him are great mates, so just get the big fella to introduce you, otherwise I can. But and get Howie to fly you over the course from a look from above.
I should do that.
Yeah, he'd love to.
It's the best idea of this call.
Oh.
I like it. I'll take that one on for sure.
At least you got something from it, Zoe.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah. He's a fantastic bloke to hang out with. Him and his wife are just the loveliest people. So, and if you tell him you're sailing 5.0s now, it's a done deal. In fact, there's quite a good 5.0 community that'll adopt you now, Zoe, and they all listen. So you'll be fine.
Good.
If you're in LA, you'll be fine.
I'll be right.
Yeah, they're a little up the road.
Yeah, they was there a regatta last year there, or the Worlds this year or something? It's soon there was a
last year, I think.
I can't remember.
The
last
Worlds
year. My brother was trying to convince me.
The last Worlds were in Adelaide. Then I think the year before that might have been LA from memory, and they're going to the UK, I think, next coming up. Yeah. But, BP switching off. He's having 5.0 talk.
Just done.
Well, while you're off in 5.0 world, I'm just trying to find my lost daughter.
All right. Well, we're going to call it here anyway, so you can go and be a proper father. But
that would be good.
Yeah, but
sweet.
I've just dumped her at netball, so there you go. I'm over here.
Look, everyone would do that. BP netball's the worst game in the world to watch. Oh no, I said that out loud.
Oh my God,
I'm going to get killed. Anyway. Zoe, great fun to chat. If, again, we can help with anything, you let us know. But, best of luck with your program. You look like you're doing an amazing job. Thank you. Yeah, and we'll see you when we're in West Oz.
Yeah, you should swing by on the Sale GP times.
Well, I'll be
all
there.
Happening.
100%.
The town's alive.
It's so
Sweet.
good.
Well, we're all... Just know we're all behind you, all the whole team for that matter, and just keep your head down and take it on.
Yeah, our blinkers on. Look out for me in Port Tack at the top, Mark.
I'll be looking. Don't worry. Where is he?
I'll be there.
All right.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
No worries. Cheers.
See ya.
Great discussion. Obviously, it went in a whole pathway I wasn't expecting. The 5.0 conversation was pretty funny.
But did you see it? Did you see the world grew? The mention of the 5.05. The whole audience just stopped. Everything just stopped.
Well, the funny thing is, when we finished the interview, you quickly ran to help your daughter after netball, and Zoe and I stayed on and talked 5.0s for a bit. We had a good conversation. So.
Well, that's why I said, don't mention it.
Yeah.
Oh.
She loves them. She's a mad fan. So it's cool.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah,
your best mates now, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's 100% best mates now. So I'll make sure that we can help them out, because first thing I'll do
likes the idea of the helicopter.
Oh, that was a good one, wasn't it? Oh, Howie's a bit of a legend, so I'm sure Howie would be interested. And if you want a bit of help, Radix Nutrition can help you if you're wanting health or vitality, endurance and high performance, outdoor adventure, or just weight loss. If you jump onto Radix Nutrition and check out some of their foods and meals, just the most nutritionally balanced meals, if you give those guys a call, or jump on the website, Radix Nutrition, and then just use Barker 80 as a discount code. That'll be a game changer for your life. So that would be a good one.
I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to go one step further and back this up. I'm about to do California Race Week and, of course, the Pac Cup coming up in a month or two. Fully stocked, Radix, the whole way. I'm all on it.
Yeah, well, the other thing is obviously because you're in the marine world, you'll be away from your business for a while. So most marine businesses rely on reputation and referrals, but the problem is calls can get missed, follow-up slip, and there's no real system behind it. If you want to use a better solution, try disruptormarinemarketing.com.au. Disruptor installs a 24/7 AI receptionist, much more reliable than the Buy Spot now. We're going to call it the BP bot. The Brett bot. The Brett bot.
Brett bot. Brett bot.
And they'll answer all your questions and inquiries and book jobs automatically for you. And they set up a referral system. So, and that's been doubling leads within 60 days. So if it doesn't...
We can go one step further with this, really. We could have the Buy Spot, the Brett bot, and the J bot.
Oh, you get to choose. Bicey and I always discussed on plane flights about how we'd like to record the voiceovers, the voice for, navigation systems, like how...
We've discussed this quite a few times.
Yeah. I think that would be funny. But anyway, for Disruptive Marine Marketing, maybe we'll put our voices on there for you. But if you are running a marine business, check them out. Disrupted, DIS.
Could you imagine it? Could you imagine you answering the phone?
No. What?
Hello?
What do you want?
Yeah. What, you don't like 505s? You're out. Go on. You're not a customer. Piss off.
Didn't even think of that. Well done. Yeah, cool. Anyway, so disruptormarinemarketing.com.
Yeah, that would be your question. Do you like 505s?
Yeah.
Okay, you're in.
Got to filter and make sure they are in the marine business because, if you're a marine person, you'd love 50s. I wonder how much commission I get from the 50 class. Right.
Well, I don't know how much.
None. All love. Other news, events coming up.
And you've got an economics degree.
Oh, you know me. I just give money away. I don't chase the money.
Do you?
Well, I don't.
How do you do that? Do you do that by transfer or is little brown paper bags? Can I have a brown paper bag?
It's just a bank transfer in your instance, BP. International 1 metre worlds are coming up, bud. At Datchet Water Sailing.
How good was that last year? Last year? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. 15 to 23 May. They've got quite a huge number of entries. And so if you want to watch it, I'm not sure that they're doing much coverage on it, but they will do a bit. But if
it's anything like Gladstone last year, was it last year?
Yeah. But it's going to be nothing like Gladstone. They haven't got that.
Well, they won't have the J. They won't have the J bot commentating.
I think they've got 3 different courses, so they're doing quite a big program. I don't want to.
How did you speak for 8 hours about remote control yachts?
It was pretty easy for me. Talking non-stop is pretty much my gift. Yeah, so if you're in London, though, Datchet Water is only 15 minutes from London, so it's pretty quick. If you're near Heathrow, it's 5K from there. So if you're in or going through, jump in and have a watch. It's good fun. But anyway, to all the competitors.
Get down to the Twiddler. Yep.
Yeah, go and watch the Twiddlers. You've got 11 days, 10 days by the time we publish. And yeah, it'll be great fun. So good luck to all the competitors on that one. And the other event that I do want to highlight is the ILCA 1000. It's kind of a training race, but it's a big one.
Started today.
Yeah, as we publish. So it'll be, by the time as we put this to air, you'll have a couple of hours to tune into it. But basically a 1,000-mile race. They go from Port La Foret or Forêt, it probably is in French, to Fastnet Rock and back.
I just love how you make shit up.
Anyway, basically it's all single-handers. It's the single-handed ILCA sailing, and single-handed, it's that, ILCA's generally single-handed's 1 year, double-handed's the next year sort of thing, and they flip backwards and forwards. So it's single-handed year, which is the big year. So yeah, all excited.
Try and reach out to our old mate, Scotty Shaw.
Yeah. I wonder how he's going. All right. Our friends at Vicobi are the backers of the Jack Lloyd Listener of the Week, and we're moving on to that. We've got a couple of good ones this week, and the ones we get that we put to air are really about people that are embracing sailing. They're our favourite ones, and we got 2 good ones of that this week. So if I could mention those, if I go into my inbox instead of playing back where they're. So first off is from an Anton Pasov. Hello, Jordan, BP, and PTB. It's sticking. Everyone's doing it.
PTB, there it is.
It's someone who started sailing quite recently. I greatly appreciate your work and support for making sailing more inclusive and accessible. Thank you. It's not our work. It's just what should be done. Growing up in a landlocked region in Ukraine, I was lucky enough to get into rowing, but I was always dreaming about sailing for as long as I can remember. Anyhow, long story short, later when I lived in Kiev, I started pleasure sailing a bit, and after we moved to Portugal in 2021, my whole family started sailing. My wife and I mostly on our first 7.5 and our daughters on dinghies. Look, this is just fantastic. I'm glad you guys are safe and in beautiful Portugal, which we love. Later on, I got an X yacht IMX 40 in Norway.
Nice boat, IMX 40. Did a bit of sailing on one of those many years ago.
Yeah. With the intention to mostly cruise, though I had to get a fastish boat. I don't blame you, my friend. That's how all cruising boats should be. You've got it in one Anton there. And since later, when we got the boat to Galicia in late
Galicia.
Hey?
Galicia.
Thank you, my friend. In late 2024, yep, we're mostly racing for the past 1.5 years. And while in 2025, the crew were mostly my Portuguese sailor mates, in 26, fully amateur international adult team trying to make club racing and hopefully do the Fastnet, a middle sea race and such like. To the lads and ladies like myself. Riding mainly to get some of that reverse curse. Although he did write reverse cures, which I think
I don't know that we cure anything.
But the reverse curse, which I think has rubbed on me a little bit, but mainly to ask about the Bar Karate Yacht Club and how I can become a member. I really love
this.
Go.
Yeah, love this.
I really love the vibe of the Bar Karate Yacht Club, and especially as sort of a gypsy with a very mixed background and not much belonging, being able to join a proper worldwide yacht banter club would be a proper thing to do. This is a great email. Even if it's not with all the necessary paperwork, just send me the SVG of the flag. I'll print it and put it on my boat, and I will try to list myself as in the competition as a representative of Bar Karate Yacht Club.
Love it.
So much. Love it so much. We're very early, Anton. We haven't put any thought into it yet, but yes, I think this one is going to definitely happen. And really just to bring people together. That's the whole goal of it. I don't think there'll be much more goal than that. But, it could be a lot of fun. Can you imagine turning up to your yacht club, a regatta somewhere, and all the Bar Karate Yacht Club people go, let's go for a drink or something like that. It'd be good fun. Good way to hang out and talk. Talk shit. Banter. It's a perfect thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one is from Angela Steele talking about sailing dreams. Angela, hello, Jordan, BP, and Mr. Bice. Relative new dinghy sailor. I love your show. I wanted to share a bit about my sailing journey and get your advice. Make a suggestion for ways a dinghy side of sport could grow. Since I was a kid, I've always loved the water, especially the ocean, but because of family circumstances, I spent most of my life landlocked in Canberra. It's basically a small sailing lake, for those who don't know Canberra, well inland. I always dreamed of owning a yacht and being out on the water, but life got in the way. After raising 3 boys in my early 40s, I finally had the time and freedom to explore new things. If I couldn't get to the ocean, then lakes and rivers were going to be the next best option. So I started looking for ways to get out on the water. I had no idea about smaller dinghies at the time. When I came across the Canberra Yacht Club, which is a lovely little club in Canberra, and realised sailing was actually within reach, I was thrilled and signed up in 2023. The dream begins. I started with Learn to Sail on the club's fleet of RS Quests, and I got involved in the She Sails program. I missed Learn to Race the following summer due to other commitments, but by the 3rd summer I finally got there. It was very different from Learn to Sail and a hell of a lot more fun. I started twilight racing in the club's RS Quest with a mate from Learn to Sail, and the club has also introduced one-off sessions focusing on different aspects of sailing, which was perfect. That experience really built my confidence and gave me the push to get my own boat. Being a single mum working and studying, I had a very limited budget, but I managed to pick up an old Spiral. For those who don't know, it's kind of like a laser, a single-hander cat rig thing.
The boat's kind of like lasers, isn't it?
Yeah. that needed a lot of love. The club fished around for spare parts where they could, the rest from the shop, got it all rigged, got me on the water. They've always been absolutely amazing and will do whatever they can to get you out there. This is fantastic. Good on you, Canberra Yacht Club. The support from the club and its members has been everything in my journey. Without it, I simply wouldn't be where I am now. Sailing has become an absolute passion for me. This is fantastic. Hey, BP, like the club's gone
exactly
out.
what we live for.
She's gone through the program. She's coming later on in life and she's loving it. And you know what? That is just great. Well done to everyone involved in helping this for Angela.
Yep.
I love to travel around Australia for work and family and have gone to lots of places with sailing clubs, but no dinghy hire. Because Canberra Yacht Club has a fleet of horrible dinghies. I assumed everywhere else would too, but I haven't been able to find a similar offering elsewhere. I'm keen to try different boats in different locations, but hitching a trailer or parking aren't always practical and doable. Do you know of any clubs?
Just hang on, I've just had a thought. Just hang on. Yeah, before we go into the next little bit, you know how, and this is, do you know any clubs who have these kind of programs? No, we don't actually have any programs that I know of. But do you know what does happen? Dinghies get left in clubs.
Mm.
They get left in clubs. Owners get sick of it. They just decide, oh, you've had enough. And clubs end up chasing them for fees.
Mm. You reckon
this is a good thought here. Why don't the clubs say after X amount of years of a boat not leaving its little thing, it becomes a hire boat? You know, obviously there's not going to be a lot of people. Not going to be a lot of people around. I mean, a lot of boats get left in clubs. I mean, I can tell you from the Palace, you know, down the road, there's probably 40 boats in there that haven't got owners.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Well, easy at every club. But go on, sorry. So do you know of any clubs?
Yeah. Do you know of any clubs with these kinds of programs? If they aren't widespread, maybe Sailing Australia or Australian Sailing could think about developing them. So first off, the first one, before I've read the rest, is obviously every club does come and try days. So that's important. Make sure you're across those, Angela, because then you can try lots of different classes of boats, and that's a good one. Right, I thought your episode with Mr. Page, so Malcolm Page, was awesome, and he sounded like the kind of bloke who could put...
Page.
Yeah, I know, hard to call him that, isn't it, Pagey?
No, can't do it.
Yeah, who could put that sort of thing together. Canberra Yacht Club has 5 quests for those with sailing experience and a bunch of Hobie waves for anyone. So the Hobie fleet is collecting waves as well, and they're helping out, just so you know. They get a lot of use. It seems like something that would be a real pull for some of the regional and beach clubs. I like the idea of a simple app or a website that brings clubs together and connects people and shows where dinghies are available to use. Sorry, there was an it in there that didn't belong. It would also make it so much easier to stay involved while travelling. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to the next episode, but I'm a bit worried about Mr. Bice being replaced by a dodgy buy spot. Yes.
Oh, the word's out. The word's out.
Well, Angela, great email.
Avid listener, enthusiastic beginner, and a growing addiction.
I love it. Great email.
Good on you, Angela.
Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be a tough one this month, isn't it?
Yeah. To pick the winner, we've had some great communication this month. So cheers at barkarati.com. And, you know, our friends at Vicobi will offer a couple of $100 worth of gear. They're fantastic technical gear. We're going into the colder part of the year down in Oz, in the Northern Hemisphere, going into the warmer part. So depending on what you need, whether it's like hiking pants or trapeze belts or dry tops.
I'm going to expand on this a little bit. I've got a massive thanks to Pat and his team. Have supported us no end with Barkarati, but also our other projects, including the sun shirts and hats and bits and pieces, which we're going to try and sort of get a bit more professional with one day. But you can obviously buy them from Vocovi. But they've also backed me with my upcoming racing, and I'm testing and trialling and going to be a critic of their gear. But I can tell you right now, I've got the wet weather gear. I've got smocks. I've got all sorts of stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting out there and using it.
I'm jealous. Sounds very cool.
It's all labelled up. I think I've got a shirt on right now, as you can see.
Yeah. Very cool. Nice. With the X2 on there. Excellent.
Pat Cup 2026. Shake and Bake is the name of the boat.
Cool. We'll be watching it soon. All right.
It's hot time with Bice.
We might have to get Harry.
We can only dream.
We might have to get Harry to re-record Hot Time with Bice or the sub, something like that.
Yeah, Hot Time or someone.
With Bice or someone.
Hot Time with Bice or someone else.
Harry, you
Hot
listening?
Time with Bice or someone else.
Okay.
Yeah, Harry's listening. He'll get on it. Go on.
Yeah, so from a sailing club perspective, I think that thing has legs. So it was just a little bit of an idea off the back of the Burgee discussion. Yeah. And so we haven't progressed it, but it would be.
We have. There's someone working on it. Trust me.
in the dark web somewhere.
In the interdark.
Yeah, interdark. That's it. Yeah. Anyway, but again, it would be that it's like a social club would be the best way to describe.
What we're going to do is put some feelers out. We would like to put some feelers out. So we were asking for the advice from the world. Bar Karate Yacht Club, what would you like to see? What would you like it? How would you like it? That's what we're asking, aren't we?
Well, yeah. So with that being said, it'll be mainly a social club, but we'll try and put a regatta on once a year or something is what I'm thinking at the moment. But as your membership, you'll get, membership will be super cheap, but it'll get, it'll be.
I reckon. What I reckon? I reckon we should have a virtual regatta.
Oh, there you go. See, that's a good thought.
I love how we get on Bar Karate and we have a brainstorming session without realising we're having a brainstorming session.
Yeah, that's cool.
So once a year, the Bar Karate Race Week or something like that.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Maybe we should get in touch with someone who does virtual racing. Do we know anyone?
They'll reach out. We'll work it out. Oh, imagine you could have the final. We could get it. Oh, there's just so many things.
Listeners, just send in an email. See if you'd like to do the virtual Bar Karate virtual race week.
Speaking of race weeks,
doing some market research.
Speaking of race weeks, there's a couple of race weeks underway at the moment. Obviously, Port Stephens. Can you call it a race week or a race month?
It's a race period.
Right? Yeah. So they're into.
Time.
Where are they up to at the moment? I think they're
Super Cruisers.
Yes, you're exactly right. So
I haven't got any results because they're out tomorrow, but I can tell you, and a shout out to one Bradshaw Killett. He's gone up there with Antipodes. Oh, yeah. Bradshaw was with us last week on the Commodores Cup, and I love sailing with Bradshaw, and he's a true legend of the sport. But he's up there with Antipodes, sailing around the area in a Santa Cruz 72. Couldn't think of anything better, to be honest.
There's a bunch of boats up there. So they've got the Super Racer cruisers,
dinghies,
and then all the off-beach stuff. So I was looking through they've got the fins, they've got the OKs, they've got the Aeros. They've got large numbers too, quite large numbers of those, doing plenty of racing. And then they've got the catamarans. And so the classes, the racing categories are Super Racer Cruiser, off the beach, and the catamarans are listed as Cat Stevens, which is hilarious.
Cat Stevens group.
So
there you go.
That is really hilarious, and I think they've had a few races going on. Oh no, I won't waste my time. I've got to the wrong thing, but anyway,
there's too many results there. And but shout out to all of them up there. They're having a ball, and I can say after competing last week in the Commodores Cup, it is. For international listeners, if you ever want to go and sail in some nice waters, Port Stephens Regatta. Yeah.
At the moment in Brisbane, of course, is the Brisbane Race Week, which is underway. So in Queensland, where it's always warm. This is the one we talked about a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about how they've got the first hairy hot lap where they've got to do the lap around the island, and you can go whichever way you want. And within the time. So it's like a qualifying lap in Formula One, if you think of it like that. They've got a couple of short course races. They've got a long passage race. They've got a pursuit race, which is basically like a handicap start. And then they've got the rumble in the bird cage, which is basically whatever.
This is bringing fun back, isn't it?
Yes. And I'm all for it. So I did see Curb won the hairy hot lap. It looks like the fastest lap was Curb, a mate Brett Whitbread. And then on PHS, it looks like Ambition in front of Blackadder. But heaps of boats.
Ambition, fast 40's run up there.
Eh?
Ambition, the fast 40, on their way up to Hamilton Island.
Yeah, having a bit of fun. So that's a cool one. So that's race weeks. Other events that are underway. Ocean 50 season is back underway. Are you across that?
Oh, cool. Yeah, cool. Love these boats.
Yeah.
Bit of a handful. They're a bit of a handful to sail, the boys and girls, reckon.
They're full bore, aren't they? They're crazy. So the first event of the series is on at the moment. I think they've got, I'm trying to actually, what is the championship? They've got in 26, I'm just trying to find it for you. So the Ocean 50 series is a series of races. You think I'd have that all right there for me?
The Ocean 50 series is a series of races. Brilliant.
Yeah, they got a whole range of different ones. But basically, they're underway at the moment. I just really, if you just look up Ocean 50s, and you'll see that it's super cool. I just wanted to.
We'll definitely give a bit more coverage to those as they get into the series. So we'll follow them. They're great fun.
Yeah, they basically just fly these things all the way around. Like, it's insane.
Well, they get on the leeward hull and just send it.
Yeah.
Which can lead to some mishaps, as we know.
Yeah, flip the thing. Anyway, I think I found the calendar, but we'll talk about it more. But they're underway. So somebody, their media team. So Act 1 is St. Maxime, April 29 to May 2nd. Act 2 is May 6 to 9 at Jashiol. Act 3, the Dream Cup solo from Cherbourg to Lorient.
That'll be a good downwind blast.
Yeah. So that's July. Then they're into September with the 24-hour old team, and then the Rip de Rum as to Guadeloupe. So that would be very, very cool in November. So 5 acts. We're in Act 1, and there's a couple more to come next week. So there's a bit more to come next week. Good work. What else? Congressional Cup. You across that?
Yep.
So we're recording Saturday for everyone. Congressional Cup, basically they're into the second round robin at the moment. First round robin, Chris Paul's looking pretty dominant. Eric Monin was equal tied after round 1, so it was 8-1. So their results, and Johnny Bernstein and then Cole Tapper were the top 4, which is basically what it'll come down to. After round 2, it hasn't fully completed yet, I don't think, but Chris Paul looks like he's got a 100% win record in round 2, so he's looking very strong. Eric Monin got 5 wins, Cole Tapper got 5 wins, and then who else is in there? It looks like Jet Borch, and there's got to be someone else, and Johnny Bernstein. Yeah, Johnny Bernstein and Jet Borch. So pretty much they look like they're going to be our top 4. But yeah, happy days.
Love it.
Match racing. It's a good one, actually, because they do, that one's a good one for watching. They do the Congressional Cup. They do good coverage for it. You know, they do talk all day. They talk 8 hours about match racing. Can you imagine doing anything like that, BP?
Well, I couldn't, but you could.
I'll take that in the nicest possible way. But that's it from me. Have you got anything you want to add?
No, I'm all good. I'm just focusing on what I've got to get done, and I'm looking forward to talking more and more about the upcoming events. And we've got some good stuff as we head into the European summer, so that's going to be exciting. And we've got obviously all the Olympic stuff going on over the coming week. Quiberon is happening, so there's some good stuff to talk about.
Cool. All right, well, let's pull up stumps, go home.
Yep.
Go and hang with your daughters. Good to chat. Thanks for listening, everyone. Cheers at barkarati.com if you want to reach out. Thanks to our friends at Vycobi, especially if you're looking for corporate.
Thank you, Pat.
Check them out. They're super cool guys. If you
they
want
will bend over backwards for you if you, just approach them. They love it.
Yep. Radix Nutrition, if you're looking with Barkarati as a discount code, if you're looking for some feed for all your adventures. And then, of course, Disruptor, marinemarketing.com.au to save your business, grow your business.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love the slide. I can hear the music at last.
Fully slide across that guitar.
Oh, just love that slide.
It's good. I like it too.